Welcome, I'm Seema from Edufinite. In this video, we're going to understand the different meanings and usage of verb bring as phrasal verbs like bring along, bring back, bring down, bring forward, bring in, etc., which are quite often used in our daily communication. Learning the proper use of phrasal verbs will help you to understand the language better and improve your speaking and writing skills. But before we begin, I would request you to give your valuable suggestions in the comment section. If you like the content, do give thumbs up and share with your friends. Do consider subscribing to my channel and press the notification bell icon for future updates. Let's delve into the topic. Now, what is phrasal verb? A phrasal verb is a phrase that acts as a verb and is made up of main verb together with an adverb or a preposition or sometimes both. Therefore, the structure of phrasal verb is verb plus adverb or verb plus preposition or verb plus adverb plus preposition. Now, if you need an in-depth knowledge, then I have a separate video titled Phrasal Verb Part 1, in which I have covered all the topics in details, that is transitive, intransitive, separable, inseparable phrasal verbs. If required, please go through it. The link will be provided in the description box. In today's lesson, we'll take a look at some of the common phrasal verbs whose main verb is bring. Now, phrasal verbs using the verb bring. Let us understand where we will use them. The first word is bring about. So we have the main verb as bring and we are adding about to it, which is the particle. And let's see what is the meaning of bring about. It means to make something happen, that is triggering a situation. Now, let's look into a sentence to understand the meaning. The government is going to bring about new changes in the law because at present many people are tending to ignore it. So what is the government going to do? The government is going to make something happen. That means it's going to trigger a change in the situation. That means a law that has been prevalent is not being practiced by the people. The people are tending to ignore it. So the government is going to bring some new changes, bring about some new changes in the law so that many people who are tending to ignore the old law will be bound to abide by it. Next. The manager, by his reckless decisions, brought about the collapse of his company. So, the manager, what did he do? With his reckless decisions, he made the company collapse. So that is, he triggered the situation. He triggered the collapsing of his company. Next, bring along. It means to take someone or something with you when you go somewhere. So you carry something with you or you take someone with you when you go to some other place. Can I bring my friends along to the musical show? So, when you're going, someone wants to attend the musical show and wants to take his or her friends along with him or her. They are expected to bring along enough food for their night camping. That was taking someone along. And this is bringing something along. So, people who are camping are expected to bring along, that means to carry enough food for their night camping. Next is bring around. And it means to make someone regain consciousness after being unconscious. So the person was unconscious and we somehow try to regain back his consciousness. Sam gave his friend a sniff of smelling salts to bring him around. So Sam's friend had become unconscious. Now Sam knows that making him sniff the smelling salts will make him regain back his consciousness. So Sam gave his friend, he held the smelling salt under his nose so that he sniffs it and will regain back his consciousness. So to bring him around. Next, to bring something with you when you visit. So bring around has several meanings. Now the second one is when you carry something, when you go to visit someone and you take something with you, that is also understood by the phrase bring around. Like Mary brought some snacks around when she came to a house. So Mary carried some snacks. She brought some snacks when she came to a house. So that is Mary brought some snacks around when she came to a house. Next, the third meaning is to persuade or convince someone. I could finally bring my mentor around to my point of view. So my mentor was not agreeing with me, was not trying to understand my point of view, but finally I could persuade or convince my mentor, and so I could finally bring my mentor around to my point of view. Next, to get someone talking something. So the sentence, Harry did not want to divulge the plan, but I managed to bring him around and he agreed to discuss the plan. So initially, Harry was reluctant. He did not want to divulge the plan, but I convinced him, I talked to him and he was convinced. So then he decided to discuss the plan with him. So how do I say? Harry did not want to divulge the plan, but I managed to bring him around and he agreed to discuss the plan. Well, the next phrase is bring back, and it means to make someone remember or recall something. For example, suppose I ask this question to my son. I show him some pictures and ask him, do these pictures bring back any memories? So I'm asking him to recall something. Then his answer will be, while looking at the pictures, yes, these pictures bring my childhood memories back. So he is being made to remember his childhood through these pictures. Next, to cause something to come into use or popularity once again. So something that was once popular but has lost its popularity with time, but it is again made to be popular at present. So the sentence, Mr. Ball is planning to bring back retro music. So retro music was very popular in the 1980s. Now at present, Mr. Ball is planning to bring back that retro music and make it as popular. Next, another meaning of bring back is to give someone a position that they had in the past. So someone held a position in the past, but maybe for some reason is not holding it anymore, but again recalling him back. For example, the band leader brought back the expelled lead guitarist. So maybe there was some misunderstanding between the band leader and the lead guitarist, and the band leader, maybe he expelled the lead guitarist. But after trying out many lead guitarists, maybe he felt he should bring back the lead guitarist once again. To save someone's life when they have almost died. So that is also bringing back. For example, the sentence, her condition being very critical, Mira collapsed, but the doctors, after a long battle, could finally bring her back. So Mira's condition was very critical and she was admitted to the hospital. And in that critical condition, she was almost passing out because the condition was so critical. But the doctors, they were very competent and they tried their best. And after a lot of effort on their part, they could save her life. So that is bringing her back. The next phrasal verb with bring is bring down, and its meaning is to cause a government, a politician to lose power. So let's look into the sentence. The government was threatened to be brought down by the vote of no confidence. So the existing government has been threatened. That means they'll be made to lose power by the vote of no confidence. The government was threatened to be brought down by the vote of no confidence. The next meaning of bring down is to reduce the rate or amount of something. It is every nation's responsibility to bring down the emission of greenhouse gases for cleaner environment. So bring down means to reduce the rate. That means every nation's responsibility is to reduce the rate of emission of greenhouse gases to stop the global warming. So that is to bring down the emission of greenhouse gases. Well, the next meaning of bring down is to make something or someone fall to the ground. So if something has been raised or someone is there and we make that person or the thing to fall to the ground. Yesterday's cyclone brought down the huge glow sign that they had put up a few days back. So what happened? They had put up a glow sign a few days back. Now, yesterday there was a very cyclonic weather in which strong gusts of winds were blowing. And the strong wind led to the fall or the collapse of the glow sign. So, the sentence is, yesterday's cyclone brought down the huge glow sign that they had put up a few days back. Now, the next meaning of bring down is to make someone feel dejected. The sudden loss of his job brought him down. So you are in a good mood, you're okay, but suddenly you hear some news or someone tells you something and you feel depressed. So like the sudden loss of his job brought him down. So suddenly he heard the news that he has lost his job. And anyone losing a job will definitely be depressed. And that too if you hear the news suddenly. Well, the next phrasal verb is bring forward, and it means to change the date or time of an event than originally planned. So you prepone that event. The board meeting has been brought forward to 1 p.m. So maybe the meeting was supposed to happen at say 6 p.m. and for some reason or the other it has been preponed to 1 p.m. So the board meeting has been brought forward to 1 p.m. Now the next meaning of bring forward is to announce plans officially for discussion. The departments were asked to bring forward their annual expenditure plans. So the departments had their annual expenditure planned. Now they have to announce officially for discussions. So the departments were asked to bring forward their annual expenditure plans. Now, the next one is bring in, and let's look into its meaning. To use skills of a particular group or person. So someone is expert in some field, we use their knowledge. A legal expert has to be brought in to analyze the case properly. So a legal expert who has great expertise in his field has to be brought in. That means we'll seek his advice to analyze the case properly. Well, the next meaning is to be the reason that someone receives money. So, someone is receiving money for something, that is to bring in. Foreign investments bring in millions of rupees or dollars to the treasury each year. So, foreign investments is the cause of bringing in millions of dollars or rupees to the treasury each year. To introduce new law or system. Our company will bring in a new contract system which will be of huge benefit to our clients. So a company is going to introduce a new contract system which will be greatly beneficial for the clients, for our clients. So a company will bring in, that means introduce, a new contract system which will be of huge benefit to our clients. Now, the next meaning is to involve someone in a discussion when you are already in the middle of it. So suppose in a panel you're discussing something and you want to introduce someone else into the panel, then you use the word bring in. For example, and now I'd like to bring in Mr. James, our chief scientist, to share his thoughts on the new research that has been recently conducted. So I was involved in that discussion. I was discussing with a panel of people about some new research, and now I think Mr. James, who is a chief scientist, should share his thoughts. So I bring him in the middle of our discussion and introduce him in this manner. Now I'd like to bring in Mr. James, our chief scientist, to share his thoughts on the new research that has been recently conducted. Now the next meaning is to take somebody to another place. Maria brought her son in for vaccination. So what did Maria do? From her home, maybe from home, she took her son and took him to the center for his vaccination. So Maria brought her son in for vaccination. Next, the other sentence is, the culprits were brought into the police station for interrogation. So the culprits, maybe they were arrested at some place, and from that place they were taken to the police station. So they have been taken to some other place, the shift of place. So from that place, from where they have been arrested, they have been taken to the police station. So the culprits were brought into the police station for interrogation. Now the next one, bring off. Now what does it mean? To succeed in doing something difficult. Okay. Staging the concert was a huge challenge, but they brought it off magnificently. So for them, staging the concert, maybe they were high school boys or something, to stage a concert was a huge challenge for them, but they did it. They did a splendid job. So they brought it off magnificently. Next, bring on. The next phrasal verb is bring on, and it means to be the cause of something bad, especially illness. So suppose I ask the question, what brought on your cough and cold? The answer, getting drenched yesterday brought them on. So, what is the reason of your cough and cold? Brought on means the cause. What is the cause of your cough and cold? So, she gives me the answer, getting drenched yesterday brought them on. So, because of getting drenched, I'm having my cough and cold. The next one is bring out, and it means to release a product. We are bringing out an exciting new product later this year, and it will surely excite the customers. So, what are we going to do? We are going to release a new product. We are bringing out an exciting new product later this year, and it will surely excite the customers. Well, the next phrasal verb is bring out, and it means to show the quality something or someone has. The color of your dress and makeup really brings out the blue of your eyes. So I'm complimenting someone who has blue eyes. The color of her dress as well as the makeup that she has put on is accentuating her blue eyes. So that brings out her blue eyes. Bring to, and it means to make something equal to a different amount. After counting all the money in my purse, it brought to a total of rupees 500. So that is to bring, that is bring to. That means I'm counting all the money, and that total that I have got out of it is a total of rupees 500. So after counting all the money in my purse, it brought to a total of rupees 500. The next one and the last one is bring up, and it means to mention. One meaning is to mention. Don't bring up politics when you converse with my dad. So my dad is not much interested in politics, and when you are conversing with him, do remember, don't bring up politics when you converse with my dad. Well, the next meaning is to raise. Sam and Harry were brought up by their grandparents. So, Sam and Harry were raised by their grandparents. Now, that's all. Let's do some revision work. In conclusion, let us test our understanding of the subject. Use phrasal verbs with the verb bring to complete the following sentences given below. The first one is, what brought blank the Roman Empire? The powerful empire collapsed too early. Now the words are given to you. You have to pick and choose from them. Back, down or out. So it's brought back, brought down or brought out. The next one. As the profits were plunging, the company brought blank a change in their policy. And the words are along, about or around. The third one. The color of your dress and the makeup really brings blank the blue of your eyes. Down, out or in. Number 4. You have to convince a client and bring them blank to a new policy. Around, about or back. The fifth one. Harry was brought blank by his aunt. Out, in or up. And the last one. Vitamin and mineral deficiency brings blank many diseases. On, in or up. Now, you can pause the video and think about the answers and write them down. Now, as I tell the answers, you can check them up. Well, the answers. What brought down the Roman Empire? The powerful empire collapsed too early. Next, brought down means to lose power. As the profits were plunging, the company brought about a change in their policy. So brought about means to make something happen. So the company brought about a change in their policy. The color of your dress and makeup really brings out the blue of your eyes. So what it does is, it brings out means to show the quality. That means to show that the blueness of our eyes. Next, you have to convince a client and bring them around to a new policy. So to bring around means to persuade or to convince someone. Next, Harry was brought up by his aunt. That means he was raised by his aunt. Next, vitamin and mineral deficiency brings on many diseases. So this means this is the cause of the illness. Thank you for being there with me. Hope you enjoyed the session. Do like and share with your friends. Bye. Take care. Stay safe. See you in the next one.